We'll get this thing going.
What's going on, Cardinals fans? Y'all, welcome to another episode of Cardinalytics, an Arizona Cardinals podcast uh, for fans by fans. We're here. I'm here with my co-host Jake. Corey's not. I don't know if he's gonna be able to make it today. He might be able to make it, but we're here after another brutal divisional loss, a back-to-back divisional loss in which the Cardinals got smoked yet again, gave up 40 points to the Niners at home. A game in which, it wasn't too much optimism going in. Marv randomly ended up on the injury report. And shoot, we walk away at least. I mean, you can say at least, but like, shout out to Jacoby Brissett for breaking the all-time passing completion, the most completions in a game. I think he had 47 completions. And shout out to our guy Michael Wilson, 15 catches on 18 targets for a buck 85. Um, I know Corey who's not on here right now, but Corey met him last year. Great guy. Good to see him perform when his numbers called. So but yeah, here we are again after another loss, talking about the same old, same old. Jake, how you been? I'm assuming you're like all of us, and we just, it's just been down bad these last couple of weeks.
Yeah, I mean, like I tweeted out, was at the game Sunday. I'd actually bought tickets with my cousin for $200 a pop, like 2 months ago. We thought it was going to be a sweet game between the Cardinals and the Niners with actual stakes on the line. And he flew out here from Boston. I was apologetic to him that we even had to go to the game because it's just bad, bro. Like it's a joke. I've never been more disappointed in and it's tough too. Like I really don't care for our fan base, honestly. As a whole, I think our fan base is very delusional, very casual, very soft. Not really, a lot of bad adjectives here, but just not really ball
Hmm.
knowers, not really good fans. And the thing that you notice out here too, I'm sure, like I live out here now, but I'm sure you see this on Twitter too. It's like the Cardinals fans, oftentimes the Cardinals stink or the Diamondbacks stink or the Suns stink, and then they just kind of hop to the next
Hmm.
team. And for me, like being a Cardinals fan and then rooting for like Boston teams outside of that, I mean, I do have a soft spot for like the Suns and the Diamondbacks. But like it's just, I mean, for me, man, it's the Cardinals are head and shoulders, not even remotely close to any other team as far as like being a fan. So it's just tough to see that. Like, just so many casuals don't really get it. They love to just throw out these blanket statements. I mean, everyone's has completely killed off Kyler, as you've seen. I feel like the three of us have been kind of defending him for a long time, and we're even kind of just done now. Like, it's the whole thing is like dead. Like the fans and the Arizona media, outside of a few more level-headed reporters that cover the team, have pretty much just bashed this guy into oblivion, dude. And it's
Hmm.
crazy too, bro. Like even like the Johnny Venerables and Bo Brocks, like Kyler literally sat down with them on the Diamondbacks slash Rockies spring training playing field before this season. He gave them their time to do this big interview, bolstering their channel for sure. And they've been bashing on the guy so hard, which is honestly so ridiculous. And there's ways to go about it, and there's what they're doing, and they've just completely flipped on the guy. And honestly, bro,
Yeah.
it's pretty cowardly in my opinion. Um, Guys like Ron Wolfley, like all have turned on Kyler and are scapegoating the shit out of him. It's just super lame, dude. And it seems like a foregone conclusion that he's going to be gone after this year. Wherever he goes, I'll always root for the guy unless we're directly playing against him, the Cardinals, that is. Um,
Hmm.
it sucks, but it's like, I really hope, man, that we bring a quarterback in, maybe draft a guy that hits like a Drake May. Um, but I don't have a ton of confidence that's going to happen. And
Yeah.
this is kind of just opening up the top of a lot of issues that are happening right now. I mean, if you look at our roster from a talent perspective, I don't think that we're lacking talent, from looking at our team versus the Niners versus the Seahawks. I mean, the Seahawks, yeah, they're obviously more talented, but I feel like we do have a fair amount of talent, and it's just been mismanaged so poorly this year. And I don't have a ton of confidence. Like, I feel like last year it was like, oh, another tough season, but it was like year two of JG, and like we
Hmm.
doubled we doubled the win total.
And we were on track to
Um,
make the playoffs if we would have
we were
like finished
we
the
were on
season how we
track.
should have finished. Yeah. Hmm.
Absolutely, bro. Like we finished 8-9, and you looked back, and it was like, holy shit! Like we could have won the Carolina game. Like holy shit, we could have, beat. I'm trying to think back that Vikings game that we just puked on ourselves. I mean, there was countless
Yeah.
others that you felt like you could have won last year,
Yeah.
and I think now the season's long gone. Right, like we're cooked. We're done. This team is a joke. We're a bottom feeder once again.
Hmm.
And you just kind of look at it and you're like, holy shit, like what was the big kind of turning points of this year? And I think it was the
It's the
Clayton
Titans game.
Adams. Well,
Oh.
the Titans game for sure. But I think we were, to be honest with you, I think we were dead before that. Having lost Clayton Adams, like we barely escaped the Saints. We barely escaped the Panthers. We had a dysfunctional loss to the Niners in a game that you should have won. And you know what's crazy, bro? You know what's crazy is we
Hmm.
really still could have started 4-0. Like Zay Jones just makes that catch. We're taking knees. We're 3-0. You go into Santa Clara and you win the game. Um, Against the Seahawks, like
Seattle. Yeah.
Kyler got us back in the game. Marv got us out of it. Kyler got us
Mhm.
back into it.
Special
And
teams
then
blunder.
Jeff Rogers, who's a candidate to be fired this offseason,
Eh,
cooked
I kind of
us.
have a hot take about Jeff Ross. It's not a hot take, but I kind of have a take about him. But
He
yeah.
cooked us, right? So
Uh,
then we get to 2-2. When you really, really could have been 4-0, especially with the new OT rules. Like we had all the momentum in that Seattle game. So again, like that's tough. And then we're absolutely bullying Tennessee to get back to a winning record. And Drew Petzing takes the ball out of Kyler's hands, and we suffer the most insane multitude of happenings that
yeah.
led to us losing that game. And it's just crazy, bro. Then like this Kyler injury thing, and then the fact that whether it was Monty with JG, with Petzing, with Izzy, however that worked out to be like Kyler is the reason for all this. They
Yeah.
forced him to like basically play up this injury. And since
Hmm.
then, bro, like, and I got no, disrespect towards Jacoby. I think he goes in, works hard. He's a tough motherfucker. He plays hard for the team. But it's clear that, you know, the stats might look better for him as far as like passing and things like that. But it's like, okay, in a lot of these games, we're not running the ball. We're not able to run the
Hmm.
ball. We're literally just throwing and like, oh yeah, it turns out we have the best tight end in the National Football League, who's on a historic run in pace right now. And
Yeah, and
then
we've been playing behind the last two games, from the get
right.
go. So like,
So I don't want to really hear this like, oh, like this guy can like throw it all over the yard. It's like it doesn't
mhm.
matter, bro. Like I know you made the point about him setting the completions record, but it's like, dude, I'm looking at the scoreboard last week, and the Cardinals had just about 500 total yards of offense to San Fran's 260, and we lost by 3 scores. Jacoby Brissett set the all-time completions record in a game, and we lost by 3 scores. Trey McBride, Michael Wilson combined for like 75 fantasy points, and we lost by 3 scores. It's just you look at it, bro, and it's honestly like a sick joke, like the whole thing. And I do wonder, could it have been different if Kyler was just able to come back after the Titans game and kind of play? Like maybe we beat Green Bay, maybe we beat Indy, or maybe
Yeah.
we win one of those games. Kyler always, seems to keep Seattle games at least closer. He almost beat them
Yeah.
the first time, and then we literally got blitzed, dude, in that game, which I wasn't able to jump on for that last pod, but an
Yeah.
absolute
And that, yeah.
embarrassment, dude. Like
Yeah. Hmm.
a downright travesty on the field. Like I was literally sitting on my couch laughing. Like I had my friend looking at me, like thinking I was gonna blow up, and I'm like, because I'm known to do that, dude. Like get extremely
Yeah.
fiery and extremely passionate, and it's like, no, dude, I'm like done. Like this team has broken me, bro. And I want to say
Hmm.
this might be the first time ever. Like even in 2018, Steve Wilkes 3-win season, or maybe that
Yeah.
was
Three
20.
wins. No, it
Was
was
that
2018.
2018?
2018.
Okay.
Yeah.
Even then, dude, I was holding out hope until we were statistically eliminated that we could come back.
Hmm.
That must have been the Rosen year, if I remember
It
correctly.
was the Rosen year. Yep. Hmm.
Okay. So then we get Kyler, and like the optimism's back. And every year that we've gone into a season with Kyler Murray, I've had optimism.
Hmm.
He was making me a little nervous last year. He had a terrible game against Carolina. But I felt like, okay, he's going to be fully healthy if we can just kind of expand on what we've been doing. And now there's this dude. And, to go back to your original question at the start, I'm
Yeah.
feeling like I don't have a lot of optimism right now. I don't have a lot of trust or confidence in the leadership of the team. Um, and you can throw around like crazy facts, dude. Like Josh Sweat, he's in the top 5 right now in sack candidates. So they're sack
Yeah.
leaders.
Yeah.
That's
Will
insane, dude.
John
Like,
Will Johnson's the second rated rookie cornerback in the league right now. I
which
mean,
is great,
the
dude.
defense, honestly, the defense has been playing well, like through the circumstances that they had. Like obviously you didn't have your first round pick for the whole first half of the season. Will Johnson's been in and out with injury. All the DBs have been in and out with injuries. But like respectfully, the defense has been playing well, right? Like it's just been the offense that has been lagging behind, and you get behind in these games, and it's not necessarily because of the defense; it's because the offense is giving teams short fields, or special teams blunders is giving teams short fields. I mean, we opened up the last game, um,
Basically
giving up a
spawning another
98 yard,
touchdown.
yeah, giving a 98-yard kickoff return. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, you're digging yourself in a hole, and I feel like for me, the turning point in the season, we're gonna get to some comments because it looks like our girl Dana has joined us today. What's up, Dana?
What up,
Um,
Dana?
but it to me, the turning point in the season and where I lost faith with the team was just like, or with not with the team, but with the coaching staff, was just the Tennessee game. Like, there's no way that you lose that game, number one, and in the fashion that you lose it, it's just like, well, I've lost all hope in that. Like, y'all are going to put together a competent football team. Like, I don't think that there's all every week there's going to be something that we're shooting ourselves in the foot, right? And like, I'm not knocking Jacoby Brissett, but at least with Kyler Murray, he always gave us an opportunity because of his legs, and his ability to manipulate the defense with his legs. Like he always gave us an opportunity in games where sometimes we shouldn't even be in those games. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like he makes the offensive line look better. Um, he should make the receivers better, but that's another thing when it comes to the scheme and stuff like that. But like, I mean, it's just been very, very frustrating. And we didn't have you on the last pod, so I know you didn't get a chance to rant about that Seattle game and just everything that's been going on. But nah, it's been frustrating and it's getting harder and harder for us to come up here and really talk about this team because I'm gonna get to one of these comments. Dana said the problems haven't changed. And I agree, the problems have not changed. They just let Brissett throw the ball more. The
Yeah.
amount of 11 personnel that we're playing right now is a big indicator there. And that's so true. I feel like what's lost in all of this is the fact that we lost our two best, not two best, but James Conner, heartbeat of the team, and we also lost Trey Benson. And with that, we lost our running game. I mean, not to say that it was kind of not to say that it was even really there to begin with, but like you lose your two horses, now you're trouting out Imari DiMercado, who's dropping the ball. Who also, if he would have caught the ball against San Fran, we would have won that game. But and you're trying out Bam Knight, like who's not he's not a starting running back in the NFL. He gives you some juice, but that's about it, you know. So like it's just to me, it's been more so like we see these stats, and it's just more so been like out of necessity. It's like if you even want to look competent, or you want to, I don't want to say save your job, but like just show up in the games, you got to throw the ball because you can't do anything else. You know what I'm saying? Like you cannot do anything else. She says something like 66% of our plays were 11 personnel from week 6 to 10 after the Kyler injury.
Yeah,
I,
it's so true, dude. I like these people saying
yeah,
it's not different. It's factually different. It is fully different. It like
yeah.
you have to make note of that. It is clearly different.
Yeah. No, and yeah, she says the problems hadn't changed. Poor old line play, not converting on third downs, not scoring bad time. Let's talk about the route running. What was so I know everybody was talking about the play where Jacoby threw the pick across the middle before halftime. You got two dudes running the same routes, basically, or not the same routes, but they're running to the same
They're
place. You
too
got
close to each other. It's too easy to cover that.
Yeah, yeah. You had Dortch on the outside looked like he was running a dig, and then you had Weaver on the inside looked like he was running a post, and they're right there. And this has been an issue all season. We've seen it where you have two tight ends running curl routes right next to each other.
Right.
Like
Pick your poison, whoever you want to pick off there. Like
yeah, like it's definitely been a lot. And she also says the defense isn't blameless. Defend the sticks, Rowless, for goodness sakes. Look,
I do agree with
I
that as well. I've been very down
I
on the defense, to be honest, as of late. I feel
I
like we had no
I
chance in this last game.
I agree with that. In this last game, it might have been a little bad, but man, the defense did everything that they possibly could against that Seattle team. You gave
I
up two
totally
pick
agree. I
sixes.
do agree with that. Yep.
They gave up two pick six. Well, the offense gave up two pick sixes, and in the second half, you had I want to say two sack fumbles, and you also, you know what I'm saying, you gave the team the ball back in with the short field twice. So like if you don't give up those two touchdowns, I mean, like you're basically you're either the game is either tied or you're probably taking the lead there. So like,
No,
I mean,
yeah, I totally agree.
the defense definitely like, you know what I'm saying, like it's they don't go without blame in my opinion, but like it it's hard for me to look at the defense and be like, this is really like the big issue of the team. I just really feel like you said, what they've done with Kyler and how it seems like they've scapegoated him, um, and thrown him under the bus when it comes to like not supporting him, not cleaning his name up when it's being smeared, you know what I'm saying, by media members, by fans or whatever. Like it's been ridiculous to see, and the fact that they did it really after that Cowboys win is so disgusting. Like
Yeah,
to me, it's
yeah.
just so disgusting.
Dude, even
Uh,
the dysfunction of the organization overall, dude. Even the social media admin, like on Twitter and Instagram, posted this big thing about Kyler in Dallas, like this tribute thing, and they literally deleted it. Like it's like
yeah,
okay, like the team is just in total disarray. I mean, you make a great point. Like I've been very down to the defense, but it is skewed by the offensive, sh- excuse me, shortcomings.
yeah,
They did play pretty well against Seattle outside of Garrett Williams just absolutely eating shit out of
yeah,
nowhere. It was like that Buffalo Wild Wings commercial where like the fan from the restaurant like, engages a sprinkler. Like the dude literally fell down. I had like Seattle fans texting me like after that play like, "Oh, JSN is so dirty." I'm like, "Dude,
hmm
it was literally in his breadbasket, dude. He just ran a go route and was effectively wide open because our DB fell down. He didn't make a play. Like he literally just ran a go route and it was right there. Um,
hmm
but yeah, man, like Brissett in that game was not good. Like, you know, the two strip sack fumble recoveries for touchdowns is pretty damning evidence that like, okay, this guy's a statue effectively. And
Yeah.
quick sidebar, but pretty hilarious that they tried to have this statue run an option play in the red zone last week. But yeah, brutal, dude. Like Kyler doesn't take either of those. You know, people are very
Mhm.
down on Kyler taking sacks, but like, okay, in those two situations, he probably would have just gone down, and they wouldn't have gotten two fumbles for touchdowns on those two plays. He would have just either run like booted the other way or just fallen down and just taken like a two-hand touch sack.
Yeah.
So I mean that's a fact, bro. Like that dude doesn't get strip sacked. He'll just go down
You go down. Yeah.
or he will scamper away. So there's that. And then against Seattle, we were low key getting back in the game. Like you said, the defense was making plays, and Jacoby Brissett had like three or four like failed conversions at the goal line, which, dude, that's
Hmm.
happened in the Green Bay game, the Indy game, the Seattle game, the Niners game. Like, dude, I'm not even out here coming for Jacoby's head. Like, he has spurts where he does play very well and can really, deliver the football. But then, like, inside the 10, bro, it's like kind of a toss up. Like,
Hmm.
okay, something might happen. Like, we might turn this over on downs. It's happened many times, with Jacoby. So it's just the whole thing's frustrating, bro. And one thing I wanted to point out, because like you said, or like I said, I'm down on the defense. You said you're not as down on the defense. And it brings me to the point that this season we've played one game that was complimentary, and that was against Dallas. And you
Yeah.
can say this, that, like Dallas, the worst, blah, 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 blah. They look pretty damn good against the Raiders, bro. And like the Raiders have a decent defense. And like the Raiders do have some playmakers, and Dallas looked great against them. So they are, and they're still in the hunt. Like Dallas, we went in there and just absolutely smacked them.
Yeah.
We played a complimentary game, probably the only one of the season, and it was good to see. And it kind of shows you, that game shows the potential that this team had. But that was in 10 games the only complimentary game that we played. Um, of course, it resulted in a
Hmm.
win, but that's kind of like where the issue lies. Like we don't play complimentary. Changes need to be made. That's where I'm at. It's like fire Jeff Rogers. I think he's a good dude. He's been here for a while, but he stinks. Like the special teams should never be costing you games, and you could argue it's cost us a couple games this year, like flat out. I think
Hmm.
Rallis is being handicapped by just dysfunction all throughout the team. The offense is not
Yeah.
doing him any favors. Um, I like Petzing and Rogers have to go. I know that they're not going to fire JG. I know you and Corey are really pushing for that, as are other fans.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
basically, they're like insiders have said he's not going anywhere, and it basically is because um, Bidwell doesn't want to pay three coaches at once. Like he's already paying
I
Cliff still like a good amount of
I
money.
I
He does.
still I still don't buy that because if we go 5-12, 3-14, he's gone. Like I don't I can't buy that. I can't buy that like if we continue to look like how we've been looking and we can easily lose out. Like I mean, we can easily lose out. Um but if we continue to look how we've been looking then you know, I just feel like personally I feel like he has to be gone. Um
It's just dude. Bidwell, he's a cheap piece of shit. He's not a
no
good
he is.
person. I don't think he's gonna fire JG regardless. JG even talked to him right after the game, and we sat down with Bidwell, and then he came into his presser like all chipper and like happy go lucky, and it's like, dude. And I'm
Yeah.
getting sick of the JG pressers, bro. I watched one today, and I was just
Oh, I
like,
hate him.
he was getting into like, dude, with the media members, he was getting into like, he's on the podium, and he was getting into, you know, we watch high school games, college games. You might ask why. If someone can take away the ball, they can take away the ball. And I'm like, dude, what is he talking about? And he starts
Yeah.
talking about like, you take the football away more times than the other team. That's going to lead to wins. And again, I'm like, what the fuck is he talking about, bro? It's like
Hmm.
condescending, and it's like, dude, like you're not like teaching the game of football here. Like I
Yeah.
want you to tell us why we're not winning games, what the plan is. I'm done with these like cliche statements. Like it falls on me. Like I just something, bro. I mean, even uh PHNX has been like Johnny's been like demanding an apology from Gannon to the fans. And I actually agree with that because it's like, dude, I get like you're investing like this is your career and stuff, but you're also getting paid millions. Like, how would
Hmm.
a guy like a me or a Shad or a Corey that's putting in these hours, bro, in the off season, doing research, following the draft so closely, getting on here damn near every week, dude, and spending hours of our time chopping it up. Not like we're
Yep.
getting a million viewers and we're not making a single cent from any of this that we do. Like we're doing this purely out of passion and we're putting
Hmm.
time from our lives into this, bro. And this is I always come to this when people talk about like, oh, sports don't mean this, don't mean that. I'm like, dude, to like some people, like sports are very important. And like here we are, dude, like putting our God given time into this. And to get a
Yeah.
product like this, dude, is just it is so
It's
disheartening. And
bad.
like
It's
to
bad right
have
now, man.
to have no optimism and no momentum towards anything. We don't even have answers. We can't even predict or project anything right now. Um it's just too bad, man. It's honestly like really sad.
Hmm.
All jokes and bullshit aside, it's very sad to be
I
sitting
mean,
here, not even
yeah.
Thanksgiving, dude, and we are done. Like you and I are going to be at the game this weekend, and I don't want to go at all. It's sad, dude. It's this team has really done
Hmm.
a number on us this year, and yeah, man, it's
Yeah.
it's
No,
it's really too bad.
it no, it sucks, and I mean, it sucks that me and one of my friends we're gonna be coming to the game. He's actually a Jags fan, and you know, we actually have a special guest today that we're gonna bring up to the stage. Let me introduce him real quick. So, welcome to the pod, Josh.
Hey,
This is
what's
my
up,
friend. This is my friend Josh. He's a Jags fan. Yeah, we can hear you, bro.
Okay.
And he's gonna be coming to the game with me this weekend. Unfortunately, like you said, Jake, like you said, it sucks that for us, this is the game that I'm flying to Arizona for. Um, but for him, Jaguars fan, Jaguars are up right now. What's y'all record? 6-4.
Yep.
Tell us a little bit how you feel about the team, what to expect, in terms of like, well, just tell us your confidence level in the Jags right now,
Well,
and if you feel
first,
like y'all are trending up.
first, I want to say to y'all and to the Cardinals fan base that there is light at the end of the tunnel because last year, last year was very, very rough. I feel like we have some similarities in a way, like we drafted a quarterback first overall. Y'all drafted a quarterback first overall. Y'all had some made it to the playoffs. We made it to the playoffs, and then there's these years of trying to figure out like, okay, what direction is the franchise going, or is this quarterback the guy? Like all these different type of questions. And I feel like there's some similarities. Like I feel like you guys got a lot of talent on your team. We had a lot of talent, and pretty much it took the owner finally fully being invested and going out and getting coaching staff and a GM that's really wants to just like that live, breathe, and eats football. So with that, I feel like our team this year. This is a very different Jags team than what I'm familiar with. Like our record is 6-4, and I'm cautiously optimistic about the team
Hmm.
because if you look at our 6 wins, we got some pretty good wins. We beat the 49ers, we beat the Chiefs on Monday Night Football. I know y'all saw that.
That was awesome.
It was a crazy game. I did
That was
not I
awesome.
had I don't know how yeah, that game was all coaching. We beat the Texans. Like we beat a lot of good teams. We only have one win against a team with a losing record, and that's the Raiders. So and the hard part of our schedule is out of the way. The
Hmm.
second half of the season, we got the Jets, the Titans twice, the Colts twice, and the Broncos. So those are the only three games that I'm worried about. But I coming into this game though, like I tell Rashad this all the time. Well, it's the NFL. Even though it's been a rough year for y'all, like shit happens. So
Yeah, no,
I'm
that's
not walking into it like feeling like we're about to like. They haven't shown me yet that they, I guess, can take care of their business because even though we've beaten teams with winning records, we also play down the competition. I was gonna mention that two of our losses this year have come against backup quarterbacks, Jake Browning and Davis Mills. So we also play another backup quarterback this weekend. So you never know.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I have been trying to push this narrative on Twitter for a while. I think the Jags are a great example of what can happen if you get the right coaching and the right management in. Because, like you said, Trevor Lawrence, I know from speaking to you, Trevor Lawrence has been a guy that y'all's fans have looked at as like, okay, is he really the guy? Like, is he the problem? Like, should we just go ahead and move off of him? He hasn't really done much. I mean, and outside of the one playoff game that, y'all came back and won against the Chargers, like, I know a lot of people look at him like, he's not. They kind of look at him similar to how our fans look at Kyler, right? But like, you get the right coaching change, you get the right because y'all brought in Liam Cohen this year, and you get the right manager. I mean, I feel like Monty is still pretty good for us. Like, I wouldn't say that I'm out on him, but um, you can see how quickly things can turn around because now y'all are sitting at 6-4 with a chance to make the playoffs, and y'all were just what last year? Like, y'all had what, 4
They
wins?
won 4 games last year. They were 4-13 last year, and it was a lot of like they were 4-13 after an off season where like they kept Doug Peterson and Doug, like everybody, they had that offseason collapse. Like, you looked at the roster, you're like, okay, this team was a few plays away from being a playoff team because we start off 8-3 and finish the season 9-8, which is
Yep.
crazy. And they brought back the coach.
Word.
So yeah.
Word. Yeah. So I mean, look, we've been on this pod the past like 2, 3 weeks, literally saying the same stuff in terms of like, what we have going on with our team, our coaches. And so it's good to, what I'm saying, get another opinion or just just to
Well,
talk to another fan base and hear about what's going on with y'all.
yeah, so I mean, I think the biggest thing about like I guess the biggest reflection in coaching how much a coach can change is that we have been winning games with a lot of practice squad players. If you go back and watch the highlights from the last 2 weeks, Trevor Lawrence was throwing to somebody that I like he's like wide receiver 6 on the depth chart. They had to elevate
Hmm.
some guys because Brian Thomas Jr. has been having a rough year. Um We've Brenton Strange, our starting tight end, he's been out. Then our second string tight end got hurt and he was out. We've been having injuries all across the offensive line. We had injuries on defense. Of course, Travis Hunter's gone. So like, Trevor has been throwing to a 5'9" Parker Washington, a third string tight end, and our offensive line has been banged up. And then we had some guys on defense get hurt. So
Hmm.
a lot of our, for us to be 6-4 after these last 3-4 games is crazy. And it's truly just coaching. Like the guys have really bought in. Liam Cohen has brought in like a whole different culture. We got rid of a lot of the guys from the last regime. Trent Baalke, they kind of gutted
Hmm.
the roster. And so I mean, for y'all, like I think I do think if y'all do lose out, like I could see them getting rid of Jonathan Gannon because my viewpoint on it is that I view the NFL a little bit different. Like I'm passionate about my team, but
Hmm.
I have the reality check from time to time where I check myself and I say there's maybe like 4 or 5 teams in the NFL that truly want to win the Super Bowl. The rest of the teams are there to make a profit and to give fans false hope. So if Jonathan Gannon loses out, he's not giving the fans any type of hope, and he's not bringing people to the games. And I can see the Cardinals moving on from him. And not only that, like I feel like from my outside perspective, I feel like he lost the locker room with the
Hmm.
whole DeMarcado situation a few weeks ago. I think that was against the Titans.
Yeah.
So I I mean, I don't know, but it's really gonna take alignment from the owner and the GM to want to bring a successful. I mean, the Cardinals have had like I mean, when I grew up, the Cardinals were. I mean, I remember watching the Kurt Warner, Larry Fitzgerald teams or whatever and whatnot. Sometimes too, it might just take that one player in the draft to change the culture too. I felt like even though Travis Hunter didn't make all the highlight plays and stuff that we
Hmm.
saw in college, like he changed the culture.
Hmm.
And he's a guy that just loves football and his energy is infectious. So, I mean, My whole thing is just, you guys like just hold tight, just pray that the owner makes the decision to get rid of the coach because I feel like it
So
just need to do clean house.
yeah, and like we were just talking about, I think general consensus from like the media is that he's not going anywhere. I don't necessarily buy that. Jake, like you said, like you feel like Michael Bidwill is cheap. Well, we know Michael Bidwill is cheap, and right now he's already on the hook for um, three head coaches that he's paying.
Well,
Or
I'll
I guess Cliff and Kime. I'm assuming maybe
I'll
Kime
say
Cliff,
and
this real.
Cliff, Kime, Gannon, yeah, and then
yeah,
if you were to move on from Gannon, then you're paying for three
and then
guys
you're
that are
paying
Well,
gone.
Gannon. Yeah,
I'll say
yeah.
this real quick. We fired Doug Peterson, but we were still. I'm pretty sure they were still paying Urban Meyer. So like, I mean, it's just gonna
Hmm.
take the owner. The owner's got the money, and he just gotta stop being cheap. The fan base has to start getting mad enough too. Like, he might just have to
Yeah.
stop going to the games.
So so and I'm glad you talked about the fan base. We in Arizona are very much accustomed to opposing fans coming in and taking over our stadium. Um, it is what it is. Like people love to travel to the desert for like their, like their vacation game, especially people from the north who are, in those cold environments and stuff like that. I personally don't feel like y'all have traveling fans like that. I know Jake was saying he thinks it's going to be crazy in the stadium, nothing but Jaguars
Nah,
fans. But
nah.
how do you feel? Yeah, how do you think y'all gonna travel
I
well?
so I went to the game. Like, Jaguar fans are weird, man. So like, growing up in Jacksonville, like, a lot of my friends weren't Jaguar fans. Like,
Mm,
you were seen weird to be passionate about the Jaguars because the Jaguars were pretty bad a lot. So
hmm.
people weren't huge Jaguar fans. So like, it the Jaguars have been consistent in very short ways. Like, when they first came out, they went to the AFC Championship, and then like they had a whole bunch of losing seasons. Then Jack Del Rio came, and he kind of had them in the playoffs here and there. So like, it's hard. Like, if you are a Jaguars fan, you had to be somebody that's like thick and thin, or what, So
Hmm.
a lot too many people like travel as much for those games, and I think a lot of people are kind of the fan base was very upset after that 19-point blowing a 19-point lead against the Texans. And a lot of people were like, "Oh, here we go again, same old Jags. Like, we getting excited about this rebuild, and it's just gonna be the same thing that happened with Gus Bradley or Doug Marrone. And like, eventually, everybody just feel like things are gonna crash. So I don't think the fan base is 100% brought in yet because the Chargers game wasn't even that packed. And
Hmm.
last week, and that was like, honestly, I feel like that was the most important game of the season so far, and it wasn't really packed for that. So,
Yep,
they have a hard time filling up the stadium. They're gonna have fans have a hard time traveling to to
I got you.
out of state games. So
I
it's
got
not
you.
there yet. They're not there yet.
I got you. So my last question, for you, what is the meltdown level of the timeline if the Jags lose this game? Because I mean, to be honest, like I don't expect us to win this game. Jake, you can chime in on this too. I mean, I don't know what your expectations are for the game. I mean, we're down potentially Marv. We're down obviously Kyler already. And then we might even still be down some defenders. So like, I don't expect us to win this game, but if the Cardinals do find a way to win this game, what's the Jaguars timeline looking like if the Cardinals pull
Well,
out a victory?
so I'm gonna say this, like, the Jags. There's no reason why they shouldn't be 8-4 when they play the Colts in 2 weeks.
Hmm.
Um, because this is a very winnable game. Even, but also, what is could hinder us again is the injuries, because our injury report is very long. Like, Brian Thomas
Hmm.
Jr. hasn't been practicing. Greg Newsome, we just acquired him, and he's been hurt. Um, Travis Etienne and Tootin were on the injury report today. Our two running
Hmm.
backs. So like, if they lose this game, like, I think like it's gonna question. A lot of people gonna begin to question Liam Cohen again. It's because they're gonna wonder, like, okay, is he really the guy? Because you can't be losing game, like, you winning these games against winning teams, like, teams with winning records, but you're losing to teams that you on paper should beat. And so that
Hmm.
kind of question is like, are you just playing up and down to your competition? So I mean, this is it's the Jags, honestly, if they want to make the playoff, they gotta keep winning because the Chiefs are still there, the Ravens are coming. Like that wild card spot, it's gonna be kind of tough. There's gonna be a lot of teams jockeying for that wild card spot. But only good thing going for the Jags is that they beat the Chargers and they beat the Chiefs, so they hold tiebreakers over them. But it would be a full on meltdown if they lose this game.
Okay. Okay. I mean, like, I feel like, personally, I feel like every fan base be going crazy on Twitter. I definitely feel like our fan base does a little bit extra, but at the end of the day, everybody's team, it's crazy people on Twitter all the time. Um, but yeah, so we're gonna be going to the game. I know you're excited about that to see your team. Me and Jake not as much. Like
Better
obviously
days are
we
coming, man.
yeah, but obviously, the idea was we're going to be seeing Kyler Murray, Marv, James Conner, and company, and that this game would actually mean something. But it's not really going to mean anything for us. It's going to mean a lot for y'all. So that gives us a chance to play spoiler. Um, last thing, Jake, I had a question for you. Since we're going to be in town, um, the last time we were there, we went to Diego Pops. Great Mexican spot. Any place that you would recommend for us to go to try something different this time in Phoenix?
If you're gonna be in Phoenix specifically,
Or
I'll definitely.
Scottsdale.
I was gonna
Yeah, or
say, yeah,
Scottsdale.
I can definitely text you some recs out.
Hmm.
Kind of depending like what type of food you're in the mood for, how much you're trying to spend. But yeah, I'll send you a list. There's definitely some spots you guys should definitely try out. Yeah, I would love to link up with you guys as well at some point. Josh, appreciate you coming on. I think you guys should definitely win this weekend. I hope you guys win. I'm very down to the
Damn,
team.
man.
Kind of, yeah. It's been a light switch flip for me. I was unfortunately at the game last weekend.
Oh,
Had bought tickets like months ago. My cousin was in town. I didn't want to go, but we kind of had to. We had spent too much money.
yeah.
No one wanted to buy the tickets. Yeah, man. I hope it's high scoring, entertaining. But yeah, I honestly hope you guys win because
Oh,
I'm just done with this team. It was talking to Shad before you got on. It's very depressing. I'm kind of just ready to rip the band-aid
hey.
and be done with it,
Mhm.
man. I mean, I'm on to fantasy football. I'm a Michigan State guy, so love to
Oh
see Michigan
man.
State basketball. I mean, dude, it's
Oh
we're
Don't
dead, dude. We're dead. It's
don't take this the wrong way, Josh, but we've just gotten to the point where we'd honestly just rather hear about what other teams are got going on than what we got going on because we know what we
well,
no,
got going
totally.
on and it's
no.
not
So
it's not
Totally,
so
much.
totally.
I
Yeah, that he said that well. I watched that Jags Chargers game last weekend. I thought that was an incredible win. Obviously, coming off like a tough loss to the Texans, that you guys should have won that too. But I mean, you just buried
yeah.
LA. Like I thought that was such a good win, and I feel like you guys got some momentum, and you guys are a likable team. So I got no reason to. Literally have the. I got the 2017 season for you guys pulled up right now because I remember that year with Blake Bortles was pretty cool. So I'm just like thinking about it now. I'm like, all right, if they can get to 7-4, and like you said, you got another winnable game before Indy. Like I think that'd be cool for like entertainment. I mean, dude, we are so down as Cardinals fans. Like
Man.
we're not delusional on this podcast. We know we're
Yeah.
cooked. I mean,
Well,
we've lost 7 times. We still got to play the Rams twice.
well. So
Yeah.
It's dead.
I mean, I know how y'all feel. That's all I'm trying to say. I know how y'all feel because last year was rough. The only bright spot from last year was Brian Thomas Jr. And I feel
I
like
know,
y'all have
dude.
some. I feel like y'all have some bright spots with Will Johnson. I don't know if Walter Nolan is playing this
Walter
week or is
Nolan,
he?
he's been
He looks
playing well. I
good.
don't know if he's
Yeah.
playing this week either, but because everybody just pops up on the injury report.
Yeah.
But we're gonna address this last little question here before we get out of here because I know we said we're gonna keep it quick. This was Reggie asking, did we discuss what to do with Kyler? Um, we obviously me and Jake, we were look at his name, Kyler Murray wins. He's the biggest Kyler supporter probably on the internet. So I don't want to trade Kyler. Jake, I know you don't want to trade Kyler. Josh, from an outsider's perspective, just to maybe give you some background info on what's going on. Um, Kyler is being scapegoated. by this staff because this staff believes that it wants to play football in a certain way, and that way is not necessarily depending
Well,
on or depicted on Kyler's skills.
well,
It doesn't make him it doesn't highlight his skills.
I'll say again, I know how y'all feel because Doug Peterson and Trevor Lawrence. Doug Peterson used to throw Trevor Lawrence under the bus a lot. Like it was very evident how much they don't like each other. And I'll say
Hmm.
one thing that Liam Cohen has done is that like he's brought along his offense, but he's made it to where like he's calling plays to help Trevor out and to kind of simplify a lot of things. Like he's playing to Trevor's strengths, and a lot sometimes you can and you'll see Sunday Trevor gets in his head a lot, but whenever he's not in his head, he's one of the best quarterbacks in the league. And I feel like that's kind of what you guys need, just somebody that truly believes in Kyler because unless it's like some generational quarterback or like I don't know, this quarterback class is not that great.
Hmm.
So I think hold on to him and try to figure like bring in a coach that a offensive coach for sure and go from there and kind of figure it out because that's what we did with with Liam, and then Liam just so happened to find a quality defensive coordinator. Our defensive coordinator is probably going to be up for jobs at the end of the year as long as like the Jags finish in top 10 in takeaways, and they've been a very like it's been a complete completely 180 switch from last season
Hmm.
defensively, and he's going to be one of the best candidates out toward the end of this year.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
Yeah.
definitely in the boat of this is just my opinion, but like I feel like they should definitely keep Kyler and change the coaches first. I mean, if a
Yeah,
coach comes in and is like, he doesn't fit my scheme, well, okay, it's sad to say I trust the next guy more than I trust Jonathan Gannon because he hasn't given me anything that I can trust him with. He's
yeah.
hitched his wagon to a terrible offensive coordinator, and if he wants to burn in flames with him, then let him do that. I That's
I
just my
agree.
opinion.
No, I
Yeah.
totally agree. I don't. I mean, with Kyler's contract too, it's like people have even discussed like, oh yeah, they might cut him, and it's like, dude, Bidwell's not going to cut him. Like if it comes to the point where they can't, I think they want to trade him, but if they can't find like a solid trade offer and someone to pick up the contract, like cutting him, I think would be a bad mistake. And I totally agree. Like he's still got time left on the contract. Like I think if it were up to me, run it back next year. Not run it back, but run it back with Kyler next year, and then bring someone else in. Like, dude, even I mean, like randomly the Dolphins are starting to like play better football, but like if Mike McDaniel were to become available, like I would even take like a chance on him. Or like I don't know what the deal is. You guys know where Flores is at this point?
He's a DC of Minnesota, but I personally, if you're gonna get somebody else, don't get another defensive guy.
I know,
Flores
I
also did
know.
not believe in his quarterback at all. He did not
Yeah.
believe in Tua.
Yeah, he didn't believe in Tua.
No, I know what you mean, but like I'm just on the subject of like trying to like change it up and like I don't now you guys got me like interested in like, oh, maybe they still will fire Gannon. I don't think Bidwell has the balls to do it. And I'll actually tell you guys a funny thing too. Speaking of Bidwell, so after the game this past weekend, and Josh Shad knows, like I wear
Mhm,
losses pretty hard, and like
mhm.
it definitely like affects me like pretty deeply. And so this season has just been hell for me, and
Yeah.
not just me, obviously like Shad and Corey and the rest of us like diehards as well, but like
Yeah.
I definitely got after it at the game, had some beverages and things. And after the game, dude, like I think me and my cousin had bet on like the Cardinals plus 9.5. And like we were thinking like
Mhm,
there's no way that like they get like torched this badly at home after the Seattle loss. And of course we did. And like with all the flags and the dysfunction and everything, like I was just in such like just like an emotional mood. And we were literally walking around the stadium. Like I was just going up to all these different like employees of the stadium and of the team. And I was just apologizing that they have to like work for Bidwell. And like I was just really getting into it, like just bashing Bidwell. And like honestly, dude, funny enough, like a lot of the people I talked to were like on the same side. So it was kind of humorous. And yeah, I mean, it's tough too because like in sports, especially nowadays, like these owners are just so wealthy and like dude, Cardinals fans have been calling for Bidwell's head for years, but it's like
Years. Yeah.
he's the owner, dude. Like no one can fire him.
Yeah, you just gotta
He
pray like something happens like with Washington.
yeah, it's shit, dude. Like literally,
Somebody needs to set him up.
dude, like maybe like in my mind that was like I was kind of hoping that like someone would give me something when I was talking to all these people, like because I despise the man. And like he's just owned a loser for so long in this team, and he's not going to fire himself. He's too much of a narcissist, and I don't think he's a very bright guy. You know, he's an inherited billionaire, so this is pretty much all he's got, and he does love the team even though they stink and don't love him back. So it's just tough. Like, but like you're saying, like I don't know, maybe we do lose out, and then he has no choice but to fire Gannon, and then we bring someone
I
else
mean,
in. But I do, but it's
if
like
they're
I,
not
I would
selling, yeah.
Dude, like I would kill for like Mike Tomlin to be like my head coach. Like, dude, Steelers fans have got it so good. Like they've gotten Super Bowls and like they're always relevant, bro. And I know there's like hate towards them as far as like being around 500 a lot, but it's like, dude, a guy like that is just so steady and like he can just figure it out with like very average talent, I feel like. And we just like haven't had that. And it's like sad too, because like when Bruce Arians was around, like Josh, to your point, like you were saying earlier, like the Cardinals, I guess, like even going back to like Ken Whisenhunt days, like we were more
Oh
like
yeah,
relevant. Like we like,
Mhm.
I mean, even in 2015, like we got to the NFC
with
Championship, and
Carson Palmer. With Palmer was the quarterback. Was that
yeah, we had
2015?
we had Palmer. Larry was
I
still, you know, doing
let
good
me
things.
can I interject real quick because I just gotta get this off my chest. This has been on my chest for a minute, and this is a Rashad rant. Um, I'm so sick of tired of people talking about Kyler's performance in the playoffs when we watched Carson Palmer put up probably the worst game we've ever seen in the conference championship game. And he didn't make it. To be fair, yes, I 4 interceptions. 4 interceptions. And to be fair, the game that he won before was because of Larry Fitzgerald. Like it was not because of him. Because I think he threw 2 picks in that game also. So like I'm tired of people always pointing to this one playoff game that Kyler had. Like he is the only person on the team. And don't get me wrong, he didn't play good, but the rest of the team didn't play good either. So
We
like,
also we also had no one, dude. Like the center was down. Hop was hurt. Um,
yeah,
I
JJ
think
Watt
there
didn't
was
play
another.
that game either.
JJ
So
Watt didn't
like
play. I think AJ Green just got back from an injury, and he
that
was
shell of
washed
himself.
as it
I mean,
was. Yeah, like
yeah. But
and
like
we were rolling out like Greg Dortch to like save us and like against like Aaron Donald's like last ride, and he was still
yeah.
playing like a depoy candidate. It was just like, what are you
But
gonna do, man?
my whole point is you lift up Carson Palmer, who like don't get me wrong, Carson Palmer has had a great career, but he only went to the playoffs with the Cardinals one time, and again he put up that performance. I don't hear anybody ever ripping Carson Palmer, and I don't want to hear about well he's a better leader, he's a better guy. You're not in the locker rooms, and Kyler Murray is not a bad guy whatsoever. You know what I'm saying? Like Kyler Murray is not doing anything off the field, none of that. His teammates rally behind him. They say nothing but good things about him. So you can't tell me that he's not a good leader. So I'm tired of people when they bring up that excuse of, oh well, he looked bad in the one playoff game that he went. So what? You know what I'm saying? Like he had a bad game. Everybody had a bad game that day. That does not define him at all. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm just tired of that being an excuse. So
No, I totally
sorry,
agree.
that was a little rant I had to get off my chest because
No,
I've been
I
seeing it.
fully understand it. The only thing I will say about Palmer is that year he was an MVP candidate, and I don't know if you remember, but before that game, he broke his middle or ring finger on his throwing hand. So that was like they were using that as like a big excuse for the interception. Still, he didn't play a good game. The
Yeah,
team, I mean, we got buried. Like that was Cam
we
Newton
did.
MVP year. But to your point, yeah, like that's people could definitely talk about that more because that was so embarrassing. I remember
Bro,
that was probably for me worse than the Super Bowl loss to the Steelers because, like I said, Palmer was an MVP candidate that year. Larry was still really in his prime, and there was just so much hope. And that was just like we were never even in the game. I mean, against the Steelers,
yeah,
I think
no,
I was like 10, and I was a fan, but like I was 10. You know what I mean? And like that one in 2015 was
That was
awful. But
probably
I think, dude, I will say, I do think that the Titans' loss was actually worse than that because it was like, okay, like at
yeah,
least we like won playoff games, dude, and we were in the freaking NFC Championship. Like we
yeah.
haven't won a playoff game since that. Like it's been like we're going on like 11 years of not winning a wild card game. And so like dude, the Rams game was very challenging too. But like we said, dude, like I remember when we couldn't beat Seattle, that last I think it was at the time it was still week 16 because it hadn't expanded yet. When
Hmm.
we lost to Seattle, who was like a 6 or 7 win team that year, when it was like if we win this, we win the division and the path is easier. We lost that. The Rams won. The Rams ended up winning the division, and we ended up playing them. And I knew, dude, once it came out that night that like Cardinals and Rams are playing, I knew we were fucked. Like
Yeah, I mean,
I knew
yeah,
we were cooked, dude. And that it just goes back, and it's just like I don't know, dude. It's just it's been a long, tough road. Like even this year, dude, I wasn't asking for go to the conference championship, go to the Super Bowl. I just wanted to see us even freaking make the playoffs
make
and
the
like
playoffs and play a game, play a
maybe
competitive game.
yeah, you know
Yeah,
what I mean, and just play a competitive game and like Josh, I know you get it too. Obviously, the
Yeah.
Jags. I mean, I've been looking at seasons too, and like you like you said, dude, they're like our teams. I feel like have had somewhat of a similar trajectory, but it's just tough. And like I said, you got the Steelers that are like perennially relevant. The Patriots, dude. Like Josh. I'm from Boston. I live in Arizona now, but like I grew up a
Yeah.
diehard Cardinals fan around like Patriots fanatics, and like I grew to hate them because they were always winning and we never won. And then the past 5 years, the Patriots have been brutally bad and irrelevant. And now they go out and hit on a quarterback and bring in a head coach, and all of a sudden, like they're in second place in the AFC. And it's like this supposed to be like the Cardinals' year to like. We went 8-9 last year with a lot of like close competitive losses. Like we were supposed to be like
10 win,
contending for the
11 win.
division this year. Like
Yeah,
Yeah.
and so you see the Rams, dude. Like the Rams are looking like one of the best teams in the NFC, and the NFC is like overpowering the AFC this year. And then
Yeah.
Seattle's a juggernaut out of nowhere. Dude. Their over under was like 6.5 or 7.5 wins. The
yeah.
Yeah.
Rams, on top of that, own the Falcons' #1 pick next year, and that team is picking in the top 7 right now. So it's like, dude, we're kind of at an all time low right now. I hate to be
Yeah.
such a downer and like ranting about this, but things do not look good. Like Penix just went down. Penix like might be out for the
No,
year.
no,
London
he is
just
out for
went
the year.
down.
No,
Okay,
Penix is
Penix
out
is
for the
now
year.
out for the year. London's
Yep.
down for
The
who knows how
Falcons.
much time.
Yeah.
Like so they're not trending up. Like the Rams are going to be approaching like a top 5 pick, and they might win the
The
Super Bowl.
and
So
they
it's
might
like
win. No, yep.
you know what I'm saying, dude? Like it's a really really trying time to be a Cardinals fan right now, and that's why I'm sort of just trying to make light of it because, dude, it's thinking about it right now and being like, all right, we're at least a year away from like any sort of like meaningful football in November. It's like pretty heavy, to be honest with you, dude, because
Look,
it's been over 10 years since we won a playoff game, and
I'm
it's tough.
I'm just gonna say this is the last thing I'm gonna say, then we're gonna get out of here to maybe give you some hope, Jake. And Josh, you can back me on this if you want to. But like I said, the Jaguars won 3 games last year, 4 games last year. Uh, Trevor Lawrence, their #1 pick, who everybody like is on the seesaw about, got hurt. Mac Jones came in and made Trey McBride. I'm sorry, not Trey McBride,
Brian
Brian
Thomas.
Thomas. But you can see what I'm getting at. Made Brian Thomas a top 5 receiver in the league, right? So Jacoby Brissett has now came in. Look at Trey McBride. He's the best tight end in the league. Um, with the coaching change, in my opinion, this has always been my take on this. With the coaching change, the right coaching change, get an offensive guy in there. Who knows what we can look like next year? You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, we're watching the Jaguars do it right now. So,
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, just need a coach to come in and raise the floor and get y'all, raise the floor and raise the ceiling. So, you
I
know
mean,
what I
if you
mean?
if you if you raise our floor this year, I mean, let's just say we win 2 more games. Let's just say we win the Titans game and we split one of the Niners and the Seahawks games. Like, we have 5 wins.
Yeah.
We're five. You know what I'm saying? We're 5-5. So
no,
with the season,
at that point, it would be 6-4 because. we held on against the Titans and then split with the. Or you're saying
Yeah,
split with
yeah,
one of the two?
split with
Yeah.
one. Yeah, yeah,
Okay, yeah,
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 yeah. I'm saying because the 2 games early on that we both lost, like if you just win one of those, we're 5-5, and you're still in the mix of things, right? If
right,
we're talking about just raising our floor, but
right.
yeah, man, it's been a long season already, and I mean we are, like I said, we'd rather at this point listen to you talk about the Jaguars and listen to other teams and
No,
see what's going
seriously,
on
dude.
with,
Yeah,
with other stuff. So, but yeah,
absolutely.
no, it's been a pleasure having you, Josh. We appreciate you coming up here.
Thank y'all.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Thanks for jumping in.
All
Yeah,
right,
yeah,
big y'all.
hopefully, like I said too, when you guys are out here this weekend, definitely would love to link up, show you guys around the valley a bit, and yeah, hopefully be able to sit, with you guys at the game. So yeah, looking forward to you guys coming out. Safe travels, Josh. Thanks again for jumping on,
No,
and
no problem.
hopefully you guys get the dub this weekend because
All
I am
right.
done, man. I am done.
Well,
So
we'll see, man. Y'all have a good one.
all right,
yes, sir.
okay, yeah, all right. We'll catch y'all later. Appreciate
Catch you,
y'all.
boys.
Bye.
All right.